So BRI, you're measuring BRI using what is it? Yeah, using economic. Yeah, the economic here, and you have this. This is political proximity, alright. So BRI is here. This is where you look at political proximity, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Right. Okay, good. This is with BRI and political proximity. Yeah. You're looking at this connection between these two. So it's clear. You're looking at the connection. Yeah. So we don't put the arrow here. Don't put the arrow, right? We don't use the arrow. We just use a line or two lines there. And then BRR is whatever you have here. Whatever economic relations, yeah, right? All the economic indicators here. All the economic indicators, which is trade, investment, and the rest. And political proximity is all the agreement and all that. Just put it here. Since you actually have only one theme to capture all this, you don't even have to have it there, right? Instead of political relations, so this is also an indicator of BRI. The loan, is this an indicator of political proximity?
I think economic.
Or is it an indicator of BRI?
To be honest with you, my idea, not talking about in the conceptual framework about political proximity. I need to take that economic relation and political relation. This political relation and economic relation make political proximity. I need.
Oh, these two leads to that.
Make political proximity.
Lead to political proximity.
Okay, I see. All right. So these two leads to that one. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Let me capture the understanding. Right. And political proximity. Okay. This is an important point. Yeah, you need to conceptualize what you mean by
political proximity. To I know if they are political distance or.
Okay. This is
the result to know if
yeah.
they are political distance or no.
This is the so-called like your independent variable here, right? So this is your dependent variable, so to say. So this one is not indicator of political proximity. Is this
diplomatic interaction?
Is it? It is, right? Think about it for a while.
Diplomatic interaction,
Political proximity, right? Is it?
Yeah, if they are more. That's mean that
they come very close, yeah.
Political distance.
Yes. So this is actually part of political proximity.
Political proximity.
That's right?
Yeah.
This one? Political interest, right? Loans might not be political proximity. Loan is much more economic relations.
Loans. If the relationship between me and you, I will give you loans.
That's right.
The relationship between me and you, I will not give you exactly. I will not give you loans.
Yeah. But loans is not political. Loans is economic.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Loans is
By the
economic.
way, the loans just I found for Egypt. I'm not found for.
Okay. Then put the bracket there first. Or don't put it yet. Don't put it in there. until fine.
What?
Don't put it in yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can put in the chapter 4.
You can put yes, yeah, yeah. We're gonna put loan yet. So this one should go under political proximity, social and other relations. What do you mean?
You tell me if there are video, how many views?
Yeah.
But I'm not.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You
Okay.
can put other indicator. If
Okay.
you find,
Okay.
but if you don't
Alright.
find, delete.
So, like loans will be under here, right? Social and other relations will be here too, right? But again, only when you find data on this one, right? Data on this one. I don't think the data is too difficult to find, but you can put it there for social and other relations. Like education and all that. Oh, education's here.
Social.
Huh?
Education can be social.
Yeah, the only things that when we discussed last time, whenever there's an educational activities, usually the precedent is some kind of political agreement. It's MOU or MOA, government coming together. Then they can set up a university or some kind of student exchange. So education is, you look at education from a political lenses, political perspective, right? Yeah. So you're not looking at education as a informal, but it's a formal education then, right? Okay. So let's think about this again. So you are looking at the connection between this and this, right? BRI and political proximity. That's the big thing, right? So it's actually BRI again with political proximity.
Well, I need to know. Wait, please. I need to know the relationship between China and Middle East under BRI. BRI make the relationship better, fast, or still slowly or normal. That's what I need to know.
Yeah. So,
Because when we talk about the liberalism theory, the liberalism, if they are economic relations, that means they are good political relations.
ties, yes. Yeah. Okay. So this is it. In essence, this is what you have. So your BRI is all these indicators here. Trade and all that. Right? Instead of putting, you can still call it economic relations. You can still call it, but you need to explain that the assumption is you have economic relations. So is there other relations besides economic, right?
I will take after BRI what happened, before BRI, what's the relation?
Yes.
Economic and political.
Political. Yeah.
This is my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. This chart you should be put here. This BRI, the action, 2013, and comparative between economic relation, after and before, political relation, after and before. That's my idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that in the past I put under BRI the trade exchange investment. But this is the action. BRI not just for trade exchange and investment and economic agreement, etc.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I think that I have chart in my mind now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, go draw a chart. Then we can share your thoughts. Draw your charts. Let's think about
Just
it.
idea.
So, Samir, you're saying that BRI is an event.
Yeah.
It's an event.
Yeah,
It's an event, right? So you want to see after BRI, what happened to economic relations and what happened to political relations,
I think
right? Okay.
he
On the timeline, I can know what in the future. That means after 10 years from now,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can know is the political relation change
Yes, yes.
to strategic relation.
Yes, yes. In this
Same the
future.
relationship between, for example, Qatar and Turkey now.
Yeah, yeah.
They are changing from bilateral to
Yes, yes.
strategic relation.
This lead proximity.
Okay. The only issue is that it's not.
I think
just
BRI lead to the economy and relationship, economy relation and political relation.
Mm.
This is indicator here for political and indicator here for economy. If there is good way between the relationship between them lead to proximity, right?
Yeah,
Between
economic
economy
and
and political relation
You can put.
lead to proximity.
Yeah.
You mean that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you. If you consider BRI as an event, right? Because this
بس
is
يعني اغلب الايكونومي هي اللي بتاثر على البوليتيكال. بس لما تحصل
alright. Let's capture this as a timeline thing. It's a timeline thing. There's economic relations. Right? There's political relations. Right. Economic relations. There's political relations. Alright, that's this too, right? Okay. This is BRI,
Yeah.
2013, right?
Yeah.
So you want to know that BRI, what happened to
Yeah.
this? What happened to this, right? 2013. Am I right?
Okay.
Huh?
For political proximity.
Where is political proximity? That's my question to you. Where is the political proximity? But this is the research, right? Before, after, before BRI. So BRI comes in the middle there, right? So before economic relations are whatever you have, which is where you have the charts and all that, right? And then after you have economic relations strengthened. Political relations also the same thing, right? After, so now where do you put political proximity? You know what I'm saying now? Is political proximity these two combined? These two combined, you call it political proximity, or only this political proximity? That's the question now. This is your. It's actually you're doing this is actually your research framework, not your conceptual framework. This is your research framework.
Okay.
Where's
Bro,
political proximity?
If I make this one here,
Mm-hmm.
this political, no, sorry, I will remove political proximity and put all indicator
Yes.
political relation here.
Uh-huh.
Then I will make political proximity.
Okay, you explain it here. Draw
Okay.
draw down here or another flip chart. No, here or another flip chart here.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
BRI.
It's interesting how you write the I. It's right to left. Like Arabic as well, right? Chinese used to be right to left too.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Long time ago, the Chinese books are
Yeah. Just Arabic language.
right to left. Okay. Okay, go ahead, explain it. Let me go at the back and then you can listen to it.
BRI,
Yes.
economic relation,
Uh-huh.
economic relation, trade exchange, investment, blah blah blah, political relation, agreement, policy, blah blah blah. All of this one political proximity.
Okay. Yeah. So, alright. So political. So the. So you're explaining. You're not talking. You want to. You want to explain a conceptual framework, not a historical process.
Okay, sorry.
The historical process and conceptual framework, right?
Oh.
So the conceptual framework means the connection between concepts.
Yeah.
What is the connection? Not historical, right?
Okay, if I need conceptual,
It's con-
I will delete this one. Just I put diplomatic interaction here,
Between the change, yes.
and to be honest with you, social and other relations,
Just put it
nothing. I don't know how I can take
Okay.
the data, but and leave it as it here. Because in the past already, you tell me put other indicator. Yeah.
But for things that cannot be explained, then you put it as
Yeah.
indicators. Yeah. Now I'm talking about the conceptual framework. What is the conceptual framework? Here it looks like BRI causes the arrow. Now there's no arrow here now, right?
Okay.
Okay, you go ahead.
If I put this one here,
Trade exchange investment and the political relations.
No.
that's me. The economic relation during trade exchange investment normally make political relation. The political relation, no.
It's alright. This is not very difficult. It's not too complex. You only have what four things here. Economic relations, political relations, political proximity, and BRI.
Yeah.
Right? I mean four items here. So not too hard to play around. 4 items. Right? So the argument you want to make is, or you want to examine, you want to see what leads to what, right? What's the connection? BRI leads to economic relations and political proximity,
Yeah.
right? So now remove the word political relations, just put political proximity up there. So BRI, right? BRI leads to economic relations and political proximity, right?
What's the definition of political proximity?
There's a definition there, all those things.
The definition.
Yeah, the closeness of.
Yeah,
Those are the indicators.
I know that. I mean, the relationship between it and the political relations. I think it belongs to
Yeah, that's the part that is.
passion.
You know why I am smiling?
Yeah.
Because in the past, the political proximity here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Every
It's
day.
like-
Yeah.
الأول كانت
So-
هيك.
So political proximity is a characteristic of political relations, right?
Yeah.
It's an adjective
Yeah.
of political relation.
And
How's your relationship with that person? I'm very close to the person, right? So this is actually part of it. This is actually part of that, right? It's as simple as that. So, so you want to see. So just maintain this one, Samir. Just maintain this one. Only thing you need to do is go back to this one. Right. Go back to this one. You can maintain this conceptual framework. Is that you say BRI here, right? BRI. That's a connection between economic relations and political proximity. That's it. There. And what is applicable for all those points there? What is it? That's it. So, if somebody was to ask you, political relations, you're measuring not just general political relations, you're measuring political proximity as a construct, as a concept, right? It's a concept because you're defining political proximity using all the indicators you have there, right? So it is similar to this one, same as this one. Only thing is that you put this under there, put this inside there, remove the word political relations, and then throw the arrows there. Because if you put arrow, you're assuming causality. You're not saying, you put the arrow, you've got the proof that A causes B, right? It might not be A causes B. It might be a correlation, or it might be a dialectical relation. So instead of putting an arrow, you just put just a line there, something like this. Yeah?
So
it's simple.
Easier to
It's easier. It's easier to understand. It is, and this is what you're doing. This is important, right? So remember the word. If you have others, you can put it here. This is later on. You don't have to put it now. Others. Yeah. And if you can say, yeah. Right. You don't have to put it, but others, other indicators, you can put it here. You can put other indicators here too. So even in your presentation, you can talk about loans, but you say, I'm not sure that loans should be included here yet, but you have found data, right? So I'm open to more data, but so far I had this one first. But in the next phase, I will see whether there's new data, right? So this is others, right? So
in presentation, I will add others.
you put others, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. In presentation, you can include that. So if they to ask you what is others, this is under the next phase. If you find more data that's relevant, you can include. If you don't find any data that's relevant, you won't include that, right? So you can put that 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. This is it.
Inside inside. Yeah, that's mean same this one.
So يعني is a
1, 2, 3 under
Yeah.
economic relation without. Okay.
yeah, which is this one. Basically, is the same. So it's like now we don't have that one, and we don't have the word political relations. Immediately we have the word political proximity, right? So it's clear in the mind now, right? Okay. Okay, good. Yeah. Which means yakni. Huh? Is it Arabic?
Yani which mean?
Which means?
Yeah.
It's the same as bahasa. It's the same word.
Bahasa what you say?
Bahasa Malaysia yakni.
Yani.
Which means yakni. Which means?
Yani mean.
In the presentation, I say يعني.
Yeah. You understand? Yani bahasa means.
What mean is yani?
Yeah.
This mean yani.
Yeah. It's like this. It's 12 o'clock now. Yakni, I'm hungry. Something like that. For instance, like that, right? Which means underlying meaning or explaining something that is. Okay. All right. Methodology is actually an important part. Yeah, Samir.
Yeah.
Okay. Enlarge. Oh, by the way, enlarge this one. Make it big enough for people to see. If you go back to conceptual framework afterwards, make it big like this. Might be too small when they at the meeting room. They might not see it clearly. Just make it big. Enlarge it. Okay. Methodology. This is the fun part. Methodology. All right. The study has two methods. So your study employs a mixed method. It employs mixed methods. Okay. Here is where we're gonna explain a bit. I think I've explained before. I'll explain a bit more. Right? You are doing. Tadi saya that now you have become Javanese. It's a Javanese, not just Indonesian. It's Javanese, yeah, Javanese. The name is Blancon. Yeah. Sequential. You're doing a sequential mixed method. You're doing sequential qualitative. Sorry, you have quantitative and then qualitative, right? You have quantitative and then qualitative, right? So it's in sequence, right? In sequence. So this is called the explanatory sequential research. Why is it called explanatory? You have the quantitative first. You have the numbers here, the statistics, right? Statistics. You have numbers, right? Now you're getting the experts to explain the stats, the numbers, right? So that's what it's called explanatory sequential research. Right? So it's a sequential. So you get the numbers first, and then get the explanation to explain the numbers.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So it's called that one. So you're doing a sequential, explanatory sequential research. Right? The sequence must be numbers and then explanation about the numbers. Right? Okay. This is the important part to know, right? And I urge you all of you, right, to understand methodology, right? So that whenever there's a question, and there will definitely be questions about methodology. It is the most common and easiest point of attack, criticism, or whatever, right? Seldom in any Viva methodology is not being asked, right? Why? Because methodology is the most common of all research. All research has methodology. Secondly, not all examiners or evaluators understand theories, your theory, but they understand methodology, right? And the worst part is this: examiners sometimes do not understand methodology well. They understand certain part of the methodology, or they understand two parts of the methodology. They do not understand other parts of the methodology, right? So and then they have this. They are fixed to certain paradigms. You know, they have this paradigm. They say others should follow my paradigm, or there are only two paradigms. Others should follow these two paradigms. This is where it's important to understand paradigms and methodology, right? So it's you do triangulation? No, they come with that kind of question. Why don't you do triangulation? You need to answer, right, Samir? We have two types of data, which is quantitative and qualitative. And by the way, a lot of researchers and academics out there, they do not understand. If they do quantitative, they do quantitative. They do qualitative, they do qualitative. They seldom do understand both, right? Seldom, right? Many, most, I would argue, maybe not most, but many do not understand. They think there's only quantitative and qualitative. It's not true, right? You can combine it, you can use it differently and all that. So if the evaluators or the examiners ask, why don't you use triangulation? And you need to be able to answer why you're not using triangulation. So that's why methodology is important to answer, right? I personally do not subscribe to the idea of triangulation, right? I'm like Norman Blakey, that would be my school of thought. But you do not reject triangulation as a method, because there's a place for method. Triangulation is basically survey method. You use quantitative and you use qualitative, you arrive at the same place. That's the whole. It's like visual, right? Quantitative question and qualitative question, they're asking this different set of questions, not the same set of questions, you know. So, but if you meet an examiner who wants to talk about triangulation, you do not fight the idea of triangulation. You just say, in my research, This is why I do it. I do not adopt triangulation. So the same goes with methods. Why do you do interview? Why don't you have survey as well? How about observation, right? They'll talk about that, right? You should have survey, interview, observation as well, right? So you need to be able to defend your case by understanding the other methods as well, right? And I often see this in chapter 3. People put in observation, right? Observation is almost like interview, almost like a survey. There must be a systematic approach to observation. It's not convenient observation. It's systematic, almost randomized observation. So, if you observe a person in the morning, all the subjects, all the informants, all the respondents must be observed in the morning. If you observe that in a meeting, observe all the informants in the meeting. You cannot look at the one informant or respondent in the meeting, the other one you go to the wet market, the other one, it's not messy, convenient kind of. It must be established. Why are you observing the way you're observing, right? And you got to justify what, when, and in what context are you observing them, right? Yeah. So observation is not like you just watch. He smiles when he says this. That's observation. That's not good, right? Or they look stressful, and that's not. And that's not observation. Observation. There's field notes. You write down, right? How many? There's a method to observation, right? So you need to show them the field notes and all that. So it's almost like interview, or it's almost like survey, right? So be careful when include methods in your methodology that you do not understand, right? And doesn't mean that you should not understand it. You need to understand it to the extent that you can use it to defend your research, right? So, for instance, people say, I've been there, I observe, I know, right? What type of observation have you done? Right? With whom have you done the observation? Under what context? In what cases have you done the observation? So it's different, right? There's also participant observation. There's also non-participant observation, right? So things like that, you've got to be careful. So like, for going back to this one, so if you do sequential, because it's quantitative and qualitative together, there are times that I'll go to your chart afterward, later on, but here we are still talking about methodology, right? There are moments in your methodology, in your charts, and now you say, I don't know, you were explaining why. So you say that this is where, when we have questions from the quantitative, right? From the quantitative data, from the numbers, you will capture those questions, ask the experts. Remember, this is explanatory sequential research. You're going to use the qualitative to explain the quantitative, right? So like Sami, you did say King Faisal, King Abdullah.
When
they came and visited. They went up, right? Yes.
You tell me why?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm search. Why?
Yeah.
What happened in
Yes.
this period? I found
the answer.
King Abdullah visit
China. Okay. So the way you answer that in your method is by asking the expert. You say the expert, during that period, King Abdullah visited China. Is there, what do you think about this? Right? So there's, there's a connection there. So let them do the explanation. Remember that, right? Can you offer your explanation? You can. But remember, your explanation should come after this, not before the qualitative data. So you have questions, you post it to the after the
qualitative
data you receive from the experts.
Okay.
but they still do not explain, or they explain A, B, C, they do not explain F, Y, Z, for instance. But you know there's F, Y, Z too, right? And so you explain in your discussions in chapter 5 and later on, right? So after they've given the explanation. You see what I'm saying, right? But you can post what you know in the interview question to the experts, the NGOs, the business, the academics, right? So let them explain too. Right? So that's a method you're choosing now, right? It's a method you're choosing. You are letting the people to explain, and the people who are explaining are the key stakeholders, right? The key informants, right? So that's connected to your methodology. Let's look at your charts. Okay, hold on before that. Right. Chapter 4. Make sure it's big capital, right? Chapter 4 divided into 3 is divided. So you check the grammar and all that, yeah. So I won't be noting it. The other thing is before that. I'm not sure why you have the arrow, but then I suppose you say I will explain Saudi Arabia first, then Egypt, and then Jordan. You can say that. Otherwise, it'll be there's why do you have arrows there? But it's no big deal. Small matter. I'll go next slide. Okay. Here, I think what you want to insert is here. This point here. You want to put a circle or something saying BRI, introduction of BRI, something like that. Right.
But I think
you think
the Excel is not allowed to make a circle.
Oh.
Because this chart analysis.
It's in Excel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can do by PowerPoint.
Yeah, you can use PowerPoint then. Transfer point and then.
Transfer PowerPoint or something.
But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Without I look. When I come to the dashboard and explain,
Yeah.
I think the best put the circle 2013.
You could do that. Well, I'm saying that it is clearer when you have something circle here, or to remind people. You can just transfer this. You can do a snapshot and transfer to, and then just put the point there. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. So that people will remember that BRI, right? Okay. Trade exchange. Next. Let's go to the next one. China BRI investment. Okay, these are things that you want to make it bigger, right? FDI flow to China, FDI flow to Saudi. Just enlarge this part. Okay. Then diplomatic interactions with the S there. Make sure there's S, right? So just now you were saying about the king's visit to China here, right? So you can note it. You say, I found out about the fact that there's a visit there, so we will bring it to our qualitative research to us. But this is enough. It's a fact that I found, right? So at this point, you do not need to explain why yet. Yeah? Or you do not have to say, I do not know. Yeah. You just know that there's a surge. The word is surge, 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 spike or surge, a sudden increase. Right? So you will identify remember we were talking about the sudden increase and sudden decrease, right? A sudden increase and sudden decrease. So those are the points that you want to get some explanation from the experts, right? So this is good when you say before. So before BRI, after BRI, right? Just to note that before. Okay. So yeah. Right. This is good. This is good. This is a part of your political proximity, right? So maybe this point, right, Samir, you want to put political proximity dot diplomatic interaction, right? So they know that it's an indicator of political proximity, right? And this is a good one. Oh, brilliant. Political proximity dot diplomatic interaction, right? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Oh, okay. It's good that Hanif is doing this. Hanif is making note for you there. Okay, Chinese arms race. Remember here there's a spelling problem here. I think you have a couple of them spelling Chinese there, not the correct. Yeah. Chinese. Yeah. Arms race. Sales to Saudi in $1 million. Yeah. Alright, this is good. This is also a sign of political proximity. Saudi Arabia voting patterns. Okay. Huh? Arms. Weapons. Not army. Arms. Weapons. Weapons. Yeah. Guns, bullets, tanks, aircraft, nuclear bomb. Nuclear technology, right? Nuclear technology. Now, US, what is it? Stops the export of certain microchips to China, right? Whatever there is, some processing power, which Taiwan has, by the way. So it's good for you to go back to Taiwan, bring Taiwan into China. Yeah. Tell them you are my son, my daughter, right? Those are the thieves that stole you, right? Come back to mother and father. Okay. A very good point is now that Chi Min and Lan Bin was asking about voting patterns. Hanif was asking. It is actually a very good indicator of proximity. I think this is one example where proximity counts at the international level. This is international level proximity from the national to international. So only thing is that you need to show explanation. So Saudi Arabia Chinese voting patterns in United Nations. Is it United Nations? Yeah. Then put in United Nations. Yeah. Right. Identical votes, unmatched votes. So enlarge this. So this one can be seen as well. Right. Make sure it's large. International issues. Whenever there is political consensus in voting pattern, this indicates very good. This is a good explanation. Right. In fact, this is one of the. Whenever there's a shift of voting behavior, that shows political proximity. Right. So I mean, I'm politically more like you now. Okay. So likewise, do the same with the rest now. Okay, make it clear. So I think you do have something there going on. Okay, I already explained it. So. Whichever part that you are not sure, you can say this is the part we will ask in the qualitative research, right? Okay. Voting charts. There's something about Egypt voting charts in now.
Egypt?
Go down. Yeah, is it not this one?
No.
This one, not this one. There's another one. Remember up there just now.
No, down.
Down? Okay, down.
Down. This one.
Alright, okay. Here is when, Samir, you need to have legend for this one. The orange and the grey.
Yeah.
What is the orange, what is the grey? Yeah? The legends.
I tell you, I think this mistake, it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah, you told me. Yeah.
All for Egypt and Jordan and Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Voting patterns need to check
Supervision.
again.
Okay. Remember the chart you say yes, 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 no, that one?
Yeah?
Yeah? Show an example of how you evaluate. Just one is enough.
Yeah, just
Yeah?
one.
Just
I
one.
will put in the after thank you. Or,
Before the voting patterns.
okay,
Right, so to show that this is how you calculate it.
okay.
So you said, I spent a lot of time analyzing the voting patterns, right? So you have resolution there, right, on the right. Give one example of what resolution.
For example, I will put resolution here
Yeah.
in Arabic. But okay, no.
What type of resolution, right? This is especially true resolution against Israel. US is always no, China will become abstain.
No,
Or
I
yes.
can't put this one, you know why? Because I know what they are happening. Then the examiner asked me why you don't make comparative between China and US.
Oh, yes.
With MENA.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's-
Oh yeah, yeah, concerned about that. Okay.
You know,
We know. You know that America is always Israel, right? The only reason
I
Israel is strong.
take the USA just for in the future, maybe I can make many research. publish it.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. I wouldn't be too afraid of that because your research is not about US, it's about China, BRI. Okay, put examples of picture of the data. Okay, thanks.
Oh, by the way, I forget something. This number, sorry, I changed it from number to percentage.
Okay, all right.
Because, for example, in 66 from 99.
Yeah, that year,
I don't make
66%.
the chart, give
You don't
me
have the
the
chart.
good result without changing it to the percentage.
Percentage, yeah.
You know why they focus on
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, make sure this is corrected, right? And then put a legend there. But see, these are things I'm taking note of. 2009, Egypt voting charts, Jordan. Again, the spelling, yeah, Jordan. There's Chinese there somewhere. Chinese not there, somewhere down there.
I know.
Yeah, and it just correct the spelling. They're Chinese.
Jordan,
Yeah, Chinese.
China, sorry.
Yeah. You become Chinos.
Chance.
Yeah, China's there. China. Okay, where else? The next phase. All right. You talk about possible new indicators, qualitative and analysis. Okay, indicators. All right. So indicators weights after statistical processing, after consulting experts. All right. So when you explained just now, it wasn't clear that these are the weightage. This is the example of weightage, right? Example, right?
Yeah, it's
Right,
example. Sure.
So you put an example somewhere there, a sample or example.
Okay.
Yeah, put
I will
example.
remove one number
Uh-huh.
to know the expert put the percentage of the number.
Oh yeah. The word but you can have this. Just put the word example, yeah, so that they know it's an example. So at the end you have 100% too, right? Yeah. Then again, yeah, there might be discussion about weightage and how weightage works. Sometimes, because it's out of 100%, right? So
Yeah.
they will have to rank which one is more, which one is less,
Yeah.
right? So another method I'll show you, right? Without necessarily asking the experts to put a percentage weightage, is to put degree of importance. Right? Degree of importance. So you can put 0 to 10. Right? Whatever issue, right? Like trade, they put 8. The other one they put 7.
Okay, then I know. I tell you, that I will.
Yeah.
Sum and add to.
That's right.
Yeah.
100% back.
Yeah. For example, I take
Yeah.
7 experts.
Yeah.
7 experts. For example, Prof. Muhammad give me 8.
Yes.
Muhammad give me me 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Hanif, give me, I will count, then make average.
Average, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the explanation you want to do. What I'm saying, yeah. So you want to say during your interview with the experts, right? Let the expert do open the evaluation without having to judge which one is important, which one is not important.
No. If you want comparative between trade exchange and, for example, education, which is strong?
Okay, I might put both.
Yeah.
Example, I might put both 10, right?
Yeah.
So I put both 10, but then you can take the average of everyone,
Yeah.
right?
No, but I think
Uh-huh.
trade exchange and investment as with strong than, for example, military economic cooperation.
Yes.
For example?
Yeah. So if it's less important, then I can put 6, 7, 5, right? Up to the experts what they want to say, right? But whenever they put in, you can ask question, why do you put 8? Why you put 6? Why put 7, right? So you have a lot of data
Yeah.
to put in your the qualitative research, right? Remember, minimum 270 pages. Right. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Yeah, you are showing an example here. Right.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Next one. Okay. Yeah. So here, remember we use the word charting possible futures, right? Instead of predicting, charting possible futures, right? So otherwise, you put when you say predict, it becomes deductive research. Charting, you're just explaining possible things, right? So this is possible future acceleration. So the acceleration can be 3, acceleration can be 4.
Yeah.
So that can be a different scenario, right? Or whenever there's COVID, maybe acceleration becomes 0. Maybe, yeah.
But the acceleration, okay, but when you take the general run and take the average of the acceleration, you can know, for example, the average 2.
Yeah.
When you count 2 until 2030, 20, for example, 29, 20, you can know the relationship will be most political proximity or not.
Yes. Yeah, and in calculations such as this, you need to take out the anomalies, the outliers. You know the word outliers, the COVID cases. You know, because COVID is an outlier, it suddenly changes, right?
I think when we get after 2013, 10 years and before 10 years,
Yeah,
then
you can get
in future 10 years, I think COVID not very important to.
maybe it's not. Yeah.
Need to go
Okay,
away.
alright.
Thank you for
Yito.
Yeah.
Okay. Which school are you with?
School management.
Management. Okay. Yeah, undergraduate or postgraduate?
PhD student.
PhD. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Thank you for
Okay. No problem. Alright. Okay. Yito. Alright. Right. Okay. This is. You just need to explain that. Yeah. And the idea of charting instead of predicting. Yeah. Okay. Next, then I think
No, this is for chapter 5.
chapter 5.
This
So
is
you
for
can
five.
remove it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Discussion. Right.
Yeah.
Analysis and discussion. Okay. So make sure you put in thank you in there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, alhamdulillah. Right. Okay. Good. Okay. Right. Then I have one last very important thing to say, and it's to all of you, by the way. Yeah. Tadi when you're first here, I think I remember the conversation I had with you was struggling to understand, but I kind of understand that. But you really improved your English quite a bit. Samir, you have improved your English, but you got to improve more. Right? You have improved. Since last time, this is better. Since last time, it's better. For PhD, go for twice a week English lessons or English tuition. Yeah, it's got to be done. You got to be done. What Dani has context there. Okay.
Without wife and children.
Right. So it's true for you all. Yeah, you from Lanbin. So Lanbin at this point, you won't be presenting yet because of the language mainly. Right. So improve your 进步要进步啊，
进步
进步的英语要进步，不然的话不能报告，报告 present， and what happened is there were cases where during the viva the examiner look at the work and look at the presentation, right? And then they say that this is not. There was one case, it's a she, but there's her work, her presentation and her work doesn't coincide. So they think that she cheated. She did not write the work. So the questioning is difficult. 如果他们不相信你写的是你写的，他们会想你。会骗他们they think they did it's a big problem. Big problem. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. So I remember the examiner asked, in page 211, you wrote about this. Can you explain? Oh, I said, okay, this is a really specific paragraph, you know. Go that paragraph. So and then the examiner told that I know what paragraph I read, but I want to listen to her explanation. That was and by the way,
oral mean?
Oral. The Bible, right?
So you know the student cannot remember each
The memorize the student go to the page and explain.
Yeah.
Have to explain. And there was a Malay girl, like the Malay lady, Malaysian. So it is serious.
英语要好，同时要不然的话，你那个做报告的时候，他会以为你这个
In one case, my student, his name is Risky. His name is Risky. I remember.
涉及到伦
He's
理
the
了，
one
是
who
吧？
wear jacket like
会涉及到伦理
you
吗？
during Viva.
说啥伦理？
No other students came with a jacket. He wear jacket and a tie.
Yeah.
Wow.
你写了你写
是在 OK
他们又说不成
他会
是吧？
说呀，是吧？就觉得不
You
是。
feel stronger, better.
No, you should be.
现在说
Yeah, if you go
对呀，那咋办呢？
even.
Oh shit, I agree.
所以说让咱们练
So I told him,
那就练
Risky,
呗。
if you put on tie and jacket, usually we don't in Malaysia, we don't. But if you feel stronger, more confident, wear it. Now, Risky, when the examiners graded his work, the report was lower. But after the Viva, the report went up. He got better grade. He got 2. Some of the reports got 3. Some examiners give him 3. But after the Viva, got 2. So the Viva, the oral, is actually an important part of the. Actually, Viva is something I cannot help because I'm not listening.
报告写
Only
得
after
好，
that.
但是一考试完了，就分数就上去了。
啊，这还可以写不好，说得好也行啊
那。你说的好，你我的 explanation 你解释的很好，你也可以加分。
Oh.
哇，
那是这样。
One of my students who is now a associate professor at the UKM, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, National University. I remember this was classic. He's a Sarawakian, a Catholic Sarawakian.
哦，相反打扮呢？
The examiner asked him a question. Oh, this is how he answered. In page 137, paragraph 2, I wrote this. In page 217, I wrote this. Oh, the examiners were impressed. You remember the page and the paragraph? Nobel is
倒背
Nobel.
如流的。
Oh, it's
就
like,
是我
oh,
在哪段写的啥？
he's definitely people say he knows his work.
谁呀？
It was very impressive.
When I first found it,
那就只能这样了，要怎么办？
we can get resistor about his work.
Yes.
You read his work multiple times.
Yes, yeah, multiple times. I remember the page number. Some examiners were impressed. I also was laughing. Wow, this guy knows his stuff.
那咋办呢？那只能这种办法呀，倒背如流吗？
So communication is important. Communication is important.
I think here in Malaysia, a good opportunity for us as we are international students. So here we can find many people speak English.
Okay. Not perfect.
Yeah.
We are not native
perfect,
speaker,
but
right?
you have to because you need to
Yeah,
reach
you
your
have
idea
Yeah.
to another. You need English, right?
Yes, yes.
So that was my idea to international students. Don't mix with your local people.
Yeah.
Mix with foreigner people. So Chinese, don't mix with Chinese. Go, leave Chinese.
Yeah,
Leave
yeah.
Chinese 1 year.
Yeah.
I left Arab maybe 1 year.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah, because I don't need to speak Arabic.
Yeah.
I speak English.
Yeah.
Despite when I arrived here, Buster, I say Buster, why? Because every
我能听懂他说的，真的。
I registered here in the School of Language.
Yeah.
But just 1 week they give us study or like practice. But after that, lockdown started because of COVID-19.
Ah, yes.
Yes, my time is not good, right? Because everything closed. But was lucky for me. I connected with this teacher from America. Up till now, I connect.
是让我跟你说到那个班，后来你看。
So the foreigner people,
Maybe.
international students mix with foreigner people.
Yeah, mix.
我能听懂他说的。
I mean, mix with your nationality and your friends from the same country, but also with foreigners, locals and foreigners. Yeah.
还是他做简单词比较
Okay.
简单。
Are we on Wednesday? We will have 3 proposal and findings presentation, right? And that's a CenPRIS committee, so it'll be downstairs, right? At I think 9:30, 9 o'clock.
After tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
After tomorrow, yeah.
That's a
Very,
Yeah.
3. We have
3
Yeah, bang.
presentations. And Thursday there's another one.
你追吧。
Thursday.
Yifeng is one of them.
yeah.
It's Wednesday, right? There's Yifeng, Chang Yichang, and
Zhao Lei.
Zhao Lei. Zhao Lei, 3. And on Thursday is
Liu.
Lie, yeah. So,
About me?
我想到那个提问
我能下，
I'd like to see your presentation, but when are you leaving? You're leaving soon. right?
26，
Oh, 26.
8月26
Go China.
，China
Yeah, back to
back China。
Yeah. We won't have time for you to.
我能线上吗？Can you online？这是。
Yeah, we need to do online. But I would like to see
可以
your
吗？
another presentation.
He likes online for the presentation.
Oh, okay.
Use Google Translation?
Yeah. Okay, that's been 2 hours, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a break. I have to, yeah? Finish, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Can you ask me?